No, I believe we need an immigration force in the United States.
You don't.
In fact,
You believe a budget is a moral document. Is that correct?
I do.
You do. You tweeted that. Your administration gave $12,000 to the Organized Communities Against Deportations, which just this past month was marching in the streets of Chicago with signs saying "Abolish ICE." Do you support this?
I do not.
Is this a
support
reflection of
abolishing
your
an
moral
immigration
values?
force.
Is this a reflection of your moral values?
I do not support abolishing an immigration force.
When a governor's own words come back to haunt him, the truth hits harder than any political talking point. And today, Brandon Gill made sure Governor JB Pritzker couldn't run from his record. What you're about to see exposes the dangerous consequences of soft on-border policies and the hypocrisy surrounding them. Stay locked in.
Now recognizes Mr. Gill from Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Governor Pritzker, do you know how much illegal immigration costs your state each year?
No, sir, I do not.
Costs over $780 per family per year. That's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And may I ask, what do you mean by the cost?
That is a lot of money.
The cost of illegal
state.
immigration.
Let me ask you, do you know who Franklin Jose Pena Ramos is?
Are you talking about the federal government's cost to the state of Illinois as a result of the failed
Ramos is?
Immigration policy?
It's a yes or no question. I'll take that as a no. Do you know who Jose Martinez Rangel is?
No, sir, I do not.
You don't. You should. Those are two men who came into this country illegally, raped and murdered 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungary in my home state of Texas. Do you think that elected officials should have welcomed them into our communities?
Sir, before they committed a crime, I'm not sure what you're asking.
Do you think that they should have been welcomed into our communities? That's a very straightforward question.
Someone who commits murder, no. Someone who commits murder should be
Why
apprehended.
did you state during Biden's border crisis that illegal aliens, quote, should have been welcomed and helped by elected officials?
When you say illegal
I'm
aliens,
asking
these
you,
are
should
people
these
who are
people have been
given
welcomed
asylum.
and helped into our communities?
People who are
That's an
asylum
easy
seekers.
yes or no question.
Well, you're mischaracterizing them.
It is your position that they should have been welcomed into our communities. Is that correct?
There were asylum
from
seekers
your
who were
own
here
statement.
legally.
And
There
then
were
they went
asylum
on and
seekers.
murdered and raped 12-year-old Jocelyn.
Someone who
Nungary.
commits murder should be held accountable. We do that in the state.
And
of
you think
Illinois.
they should have been welcomed into our communities before they did?
I don't know how you can tell before somebody commits a crime
You can
that they are
secure
going
the
to
border
commit the
and
crime.
not let illegal aliens come into our communities. Do you support abolishing ICE?
Asylum seekers.
Do you support abolishing ICE?
No, I believe we need an immigration force in the United States.
You don't.
In fact,
You believe a budget is a moral document. Is that correct?
I do.
You do. You tweeted that. Your administration gave $12,000 to the Organized Communities Against Deportations, which just this past month was marching in the streets of Chicago with signs saying "Abolish ICE." Do you support this?
I do not.
Is this a
support
reflection of
abolishing
your
an
moral
immigration
values?
force.
Is this a reflection of your moral values?
I do not support abolishing an immigration force.
That's good to hear. Mr. Governor, do you think that biological men should be able to use women's restrooms?
I'm not sure how this has to do with immigration.
It's just a yes or no question.
Why are you?
It's very easy to
politicizing
answer.
this?
Do you
I
think
thought
that
we were
men
here
should be using
doing
women's
fact
restrooms?
finding. I'm sorry.
Do you think men should be allowed in women's restrooms?
I'm not sure why this has come to this issue.
You
It has
tweeted
nothing
that
to do
as
with
a
immigration.
protest against President Trump, everyone should use the other gender's bathroom today. Have you ever used the women's restroom?
Not that I can recall ever, sir. No.
You wanted everybody else to do it, but you didn't?
Sir, I'm not sure why we're on a topic that has
I'm
nothing
asking
to do
you,
with
you're
today's hearing.
advocating for men to use women's restrooms, but you didn't do it?
I do not advocate that, no.
Well, actually, you did. You said everyone should use the other gender's bathroom today.
I can tell you that you are
Do you regret
politicizing
saying
this
this?
in a way that what we ought to be focusing on is
Do you
the
regret
failure of the federal
encouraging men to
government
use women's restrooms?
and the Congress to deal with immigration reform.
Do you regret encouraging men to use women's restrooms?
Again, you're taking us on topics that have.
Did you ever
nothing to
consider
do
that
with
women don't
the
want you in
subject
their-
that you
in their
invited us here
bathrooms?
for? So you're admitting that this is just a political circus.
No,
Is that what you're
I'm
doing?
asking you
This
because
is
you put
nothing
this
to do
on
with
the
immigration
internet for everybody
and
to
really
see.
about you grandstanding.
I'm asking you, have you ever considered that women don't want you in their bathrooms? That's a private space that they don't want you or any other man in.
Congressman, let's talk about
You
your
can't say
failure
that
to
normal
vote
people
for
can say that
Medicaid.
they
In
don't,
fact, you want to
that
take
they don't
Medicaid
think
away.
men should be in
and
women's
SNAP
restrooms.
and
That's a
Veteran
very
Services.
straightforward question.
You apparently want people
And you're
to die
encouraging men to
in the
use
United
women's
States
restrooms
because you
where there
want to
could be
take healthcare
underage
away.
girls. Do you think that's appropriate?
Sir, if we're going to
you think that's
politicize
normal?
this, let's talk about what you're doing to people in
you
this
think that
country
that's normal?
by virtue of your votes.
All right, let's move on.
with
Let's
President
ask,
Trump.
do you support Hamas's agenda?
Sir, I do not. They are a terrorist organization.
Your administration gave a grant to the Muslim Civic Coalition, which just 2 weeks after October 7th was marching in the streets of Chicago to, quote, stop the U.S.-backed genocide against Gaza. Is that a reflection of your values?
I have spent my life fighting anti-Semitism.
No, I'm asking, is this a reflection of your values?
I'm not sure why you're attacking
Because
me
your
about something in an
administration
organization.
gave money to this organization.
I'm explaining to you that what we do in the state of Illinois is stand up for what we believe are
You didn't
our
have to
rights
give
and
money
freedoms.
to the Muslim Civic Coalition.
People
to
have
march
the
and
right
call,
to express themselves.
to stop the
We don't-
U.S.-backed genocide against Gaza. That was your choice.
I know
that was your
Republicans want to
administration.
take away people's right to free speech. We don't in the state of Illinois. And
They've got the right to
that
free
is
speech.
proper.
They don't have the right to tax dollars, and you gave them to them.
You want to take those rights away from people. I understand.
Gentlemen, time's expired. Chair recognizes Ms. Brown from Ohio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Trump administration isn't serious about public safety.
Before we dive in, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us cut through the noise, expose the truth, and push back against the chaos coming from the left. Now let's get into it. So here we go. Brandon Gill absolutely dismantles Illinois Governor JB Pritzker in a hearing that went from evasive answers to complete political meltdown. The moment Gill pressed him for accountability, the governor folded like a lawn chair in a Chicago winter. Gill starts by asking a straightforward question. How much does illegal immigration cost the state each year? Pritzker had no answer. Not even a guess. Nothing. And that is exactly the problem. These governors support Biden's open border disaster, but when it comes to the financial reality being dumped on American taxpayers, they suddenly pretend not to know anything. Then Gill brings up the horrifying case of a 12-year-old Texas girl brutally raped and murdered by 2 illegal immigrants. These men were in this country because of weak border policies that leaders like Pritzker constantly downplay. Instead of acknowledging the connection or taking responsibility for promoting policies that invite this chaos, Pritzker dodges, hesitates, and tries to redefine the entire conversation mid-sentence. Gill reads Pritzker's own words back to him, reminding him that he publicly said illegal aliens should be welcomed and helped by elected officials. Now confronted with the consequences of that stance, Pritzker wants to pretend he never said it. That's the left's playbook. Deny the results of their own policies and hope no one notices. Gill then presses him on ICE. Pritzker claims he supports immigration enforcement, but his administration funneled taxpayer dollars to a group that literally marched demanding the abolition of ICE. When confronted, Pritzker suddenly acts like he's shocked by what the group believes. Either he doesn't know what he's funding, or he doesn't want the public to know what he truly supports. Then comes the issue of restrooms. Gill reminds Pritzker of a past statement encouraging people to use the opposite gender's bathroom. Pritzker tries to dodge that too, pretending he never pushed that ideology. Gill doesn't let him run from it. The governor wants everyday Americans to comply with absurd gender policies he himself refuses to follow. And finally, Gill calls him out for giving state money to an organization that openly accused Israel of committing genocide after the October 7th terrorist attack. Pritzker tries to hide behind free speech, but the issue isn't speech. It's government funding radical groups pushing extremist narratives. At every stage, Gill brings the receipts. Pritzker brings excuses. And it becomes painfully clear that his policies are not rooted in public safety or moral responsibility. They're rooted in political convenience. This is why these hearings matter. When Americans see these moments unfiltered, they realize just how disconnected these politicians are from the consequences of their own decisions. Gill didn't just question Pritzker. He exposed him. If you want more breakdowns like this and want to stay ahead of the political spin machine, make sure you subscribe to the channel and share this video. Patriots need to stay informed, And voices like yours keep this movement alive.